Hey guys, this is Heather from Edgeworks Entertainment. I am here today to play Terra Genesis with you. I'm going to play as if I'm a new player, playing the first game, which is Mars on beginner mode as the Daughters of Gaia, to kind of show you how to get started if you're having trouble. I'm going to go over some of the tips and tricks that some of our more veteran players use, and also just kind of show you basically the ropes. So let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see, I have terraformed Mars already. That's why it looks the way it does, but we are going to start a new game. We're going to choose the Daughters of Gaia. And we can read all about them here. And their victory conditions are to fully terraform Mars, so to get paradise habitability, which is to get within 5% of the stats for all of for water, for temperature, for pressure, oxygen, biomass, and to achieve independence like every other faction needs to do. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set it on beginner. It's going to be biomass, which is the only option for beginner. And let's begin. Okay, so here we are on Mars. Starting year is 2035, and we have our priority right here, which is to establish a city. So let's go ahead and let's do that. We're going to click on the population tab. We're going to go here to found a new city. It's going to be free for our first one. This is the entire map of Mars. We do get a lot of questions asking, I would like more map. I would like to build more, but there's no more. This is like showing a map of Earth with all its continents. I can't pull another continent out to give you. This is all that we have. And this is real Mars. This is a map that you can find from NASA. This is what it is. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go to the elevation. We're going to click that. And as you can see here, the highest elevated points are in very bright color, white, and the very lowest are in darker color, black. So this is important because what we do when we terraform is we are going to increase the sea level. It has nothing now, but as time goes on, there will be oceans here. And so if you build something too low, like over here, your city is going to submerge and people are going to, suffer. So what you want to do is build in the higher elevated areas. You're going to be looking for something that's at least 6 kilometers above sea level. What I like to do, the safest place and the place that comes in handy later on, is to build right here. It's 22 kilometers above sea level, so you're going to be safe unless you completely flood your world. And it's right on the equator. You can see right here, which means that you'll be able to build the space elevator later. This is really important later. It won't come into handy right now. And I guess it won't come in handy when you're playing beginner mode, so I guess all that's moot. But just get in the habit of building a city here on Mars on the other modes. Anyway, you can put in whatever city name you like. You can type something manually. I just use the default city names because I put a lot of them in there. They are not, generated. We actually do have names that we put in there. So we're just going to go ahead and choose one. I like that one. So woohoo, I built a city. Good job, me. I've obtained some credits. That's awesome. So this is the city. It has 1 hab unit and up to 170 habitations. This means 170 people can live here, no more. There's a population of 100 right now, but it will grow over time. I also have the option to build 3 new facilities in this city. Once it gets bigger, I will have the option to build more. So right here is a local culture section. And what happens in this game is you'll have random events that will help define the city. And so a sports league might pop up, or fashion, or food, and that will populate right here. Sometimes it's just flavor text, it doesn't do much, but other times it'll be something that can actually benefit you, like a trade route. And so that will pop up here with some credits information. You'll get credits per minute. So it's nice to keep an eye on these things just to see how your city is developing and is set apart from the other cities that you will ultimately build on your planet. You can also view the city from orbit. Right now there isn't a lot to view because it's tiny, but it's fun. You can watch as the sun rises over it and the lights disappear because it's daytime. You can also rename it if you don't like it. You can demolish it. I can't recommend, but you can. Then the next one is the Governor tab. This is really important, especially in the beginning. You really want to start assigning governors to your cities depending on what you're going to do. I'm going to leave it for a second for now because we're going to go over the Governor tab, but that is going to come into play. This is a new feature that didn't exist when I first started, but has become wildly helpful as time has gone on. Okay, so it says the first priority is to increase pressure, but we're going to ignore that for now because what we're going to do is take a look at this right here, the Governors tab. It's got a little red circle. Let's go see what's up. Looks like we got our free Governor pack. Woohoo! Make sure you get those because we get some good governors sometimes, like Temujin right there, and then a rare governor, which is nice. Okay. So these are the governors. They have different effects that you can use to your advantage. They are all indicated right here in the bottom corners of the governor tabs. I am playing on an older version, so some of the governors look like they are a different tier than they should be. Like this is Kiahi Malay, and this should be legendary instead of, I think it's epic. I forget the tiers right at this moment, but anyway, so it's an older version, just apologies. So anyway, so like here's Olivia Stein. She reduces heat right here. Here's Lola. She reduces oxygen. Here's Yvonne. She increases birth rate. Faiza. She increases cultural revenue. All of these are going to come into play some more than others as you go along, depending on what you need to do. So let's go back into our city. Howl's Melody. I could have done it from that tab up there, but it's fine. We're going to get a governor going. So right now, in the beginning, you're going to want one of two things depending on what your goal is. You're either going to want to decrease construction time. So I'd be looking for Min Tran right here. See, his construction time is decreased. Depending on his level, it decreases over time. And so we're going to get buildings done faster than we normally would have. Or we want to go for money. So we'd be looking at someone like Temujin, who increases money like crazy because I have him leveled up pretty decently. Or we're going to be looking at someone like Faiza, who increases cultural revenue. Right now we don't have any culture. We are cultureless. So she's not going to come into play just yet, but she is very helpful when we get something like a trade route going. And I'll show you how to do that soon. For right now, I'm just going to get, let's see. I'm going to get Temujin because money helps. But we're not making any revenue right now. So let's actually get going on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to build an outpost because we're going to build a mine. I am going to show you how mining works, but I'm also going to show you a much more effective strategy for making money. You probably, if this is your very first game, you are probably going to have to use mining for a minute. But the second that you can use something else, just do it because mining does not work in this game. Okay, so yes, we are going to build an outpost. We're going to look for the elevation again. So it's completely random. I know that I've seen some other videos where some people think that there is a way to like kind of, you know, get the game to get better credits. Like, oh, darker areas give you better. No, it's just completely random. Don't even worry about it. Let's see. So yeah, 9 kilometers above sea level. That's pretty good. So we're just going to build there. So we've built the outpost. Now we can build a mine. So click right here. You can see that you have 5 different resources you can mine for. There's carbon, which is very cheap, but also very common. So you're going to find a lot of it, up to rhodium, which is very rare, but very valuable. If you do mining, like if you decide that this is an option for you, I would probably go up to palladium. You can go up to rhodium, obviously, but it's just easier to come across a palladium, vein that will actually pay off more than rhodium. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you find a rhodium vein and it's like all green, like jackpot, right? It's just hard to come by. So I tend to stop at palladium, but it's totally up to you. In general, mining is just not an efficient way, period. So we'll get into that in a minute. So turn your focus down and then comb over the areas to see where you can hit the most green. You can see over here, we're looking for green. It looks like, okay, so there's that. Sorry, I know this is painful. We're just going to kind of go with just whatever, because we're not really going to use it anyway. So I'm just going to kind of do there. That's what I'm going to find. We could probably find something better, but I'm just going to go with this just to show you. Okay, so we're going to establish the mine. And that's how much it costs. And that's how much it's generating. It's only generating 656 credits per minute. You can upgrade it, right? It's going to deplete over a week. And if I do decide to upgrade it, I will get more money per minute, right? But it'll deplete sooner. So choice is yours on how you want to do that. So now we're getting, about 1,000 credits a minute. So not great. Not gonna lie, not great. So, okay, let's go over to, this is our stats page. You can find it by clicking this corner up here. And if you're on a phone, you can swipe. You can also press the little buttons and it'll take you right to where you need to go. And as you can see, we're making 59,000 credits per hour. We can see how much that'll be over a day by tapping it. We can see per minute, per hour, per day. And this is for everything that's on the bottom. You see right here, it's 0 per day, 0 per minute. This is for everything. So if you're ever curious, like how much am I gonna, increase or decrease over time, you can feel free to tap that for a minute, hour, day. So yeah, so we're not making much. I mean, this is like nothing. Okay, so now we're gonna go over to research. It was telling us that we needed to increase pressure as our priority, but we are going to ignore that. Because what we want to do is our priority is to make money. We gotta make money to be able to do these things, right? So we're gonna come down all the way down here, and what we're gonna be building is a spaceport. But in order to get there, we have to build Children's Creche and Transit Network first. We have to unlock these techs before we can actually get down here. So let's go ahead and do that. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to rush it. Normally it would only take 15 minutes. You're welcome to rush these technologies. If you're playing on mobile, you will be able to get ads that will sometimes give you GP. I'm just rushing it for the sake of this video. I'm not saying that you have to spend GP. I'm not saying that you have to buy it. That's totally your prerogative. This is a free game. I'm just doing it for the sake of this video. So for the record though, that costs 3 GP to rush to get to the spaceport. And it takes 1 hour and 45 minutes total. So it's not too bad. I mean, it's not too bad. So we got a random event that gave us a culture point. So that's great. That is also going to come into handy later. I will go over that later. Okay, so now we need to pop into our, tell you in a sec. We would normally just pop into our city and we would build it, but I think we're going to run into an issue. Oh, no, we didn't. We're good. I didn't think we had enough money, but we do, just barely. Okay, so like I said, normally you can just play how you want. You can wait the time or you can rush. I am just rushing for the sake of this video. So now look at how much we're making. We are making 18,000 credits per minute, as opposed to a little under 1,000 credits per minute from the mine. Additionally, look at what's happening. Our population is skyrocketing because we're now getting more population per minute. Now it's going to hit a wall at 170, but this is absolutely coming in handy later for culture points. So let's go take a look at our money screen. Okay, so yeah, like we said, here's the money from the spaceport, and here's the money from the mine. I mean, it's just a night and day difference. And if we left it alone for a day, we would make 27,000 credits. Or sorry, 27 million credits, sorry. I was reading a different part. So really, really helpful, really imperative that you get spaceports going as fast as you can. So another nice thing about spaceports is they actually increase your pressure. So if we were to go back over to the stats page, we see that our pressure is increasing. It's only by 10, but I mean, again, leave it alone for like a day and you're gonna hit the milestone, because wasn't it 10,000? Yeah, so you're gonna hit that milestone if you just leave it alone. So spaceports are really something that you want to rush and get going as soon as you can. You can build multiple. It's up to you. I'm just going to build one for the sake of showing you this. Okay, so another thing you can do now that we have a culture point is you go into your culture. Oh, I got another thing. Well, I'm going to do the money because I don't have the HAB units to sustain the growth, and I'm not interested in that just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do the money, which is great. So, okay. I have 2 culture points. I need 20 to achieve independence, and I do that by clicking right here where it says independent. I know it's not a button. I know it's not intuitive, but that's where you click. But I'm going to ignore that for right now because, pro tip, do not do this until the very end. You put them all in at the end. This only works on beginner and normal mode. It doesn't work on expert mode. But by doing this, you will avoid terrorist attacks. So you really want to wait and save those towards the end. However, at the very beginning, one thing that's really helpful is if you put some culture points towards your values or your government or your economy. Now, because I'm the daughter of Gaia, I prefer ecological and transformation, but down here it doesn't matter so much. If I wanted to, I could do research speed, or I could do financial growth, population growth, financial growth. Because I'm going to be rushing everything with GP for the sake of the video, I'm going to put things towards wealth. I'm just going to put 1 towards wealth. So now you see here I've spent 1 culture point, I have 1 left. But even though my research is going to be slower, my financial growth is going to be faster. So without having done anything, I haven't built another spaceport, I haven't built another mine. We're going to go and we're going to look. And now I'm actually generating more money because of the event. But notice how I'm generating more per minute with the spaceport and with the mine. Because before it was 18,000 per minute, now it's 18,900 per minute. And that's only because I made a culture adjustment. So that's really handy. Okay, and then the last thing when we're getting started is we're going to actually utilize our governor. Right? So here he is just being awesome with that 80% plus revenue. I mean, that's amazing. But let's get it like even more incredible. And let's power boost this. So for 30 minutes, we are making a lot more money. We're going to go into our money tab, and I mean, boom. Like, that's amazing. Now, it's only happening in this city, right? So if I had another city, it wouldn't be happening, but like, I have just skyrocketed how much I'm making. Now it won't be per day, right? Because it's only for 30 minutes and there's a cooldown after it. But I'm going to be making this divided by 2, right? Like I'm going to be making half this. And that's just incredible. So those are the kind of tactics we want to do in the very beginning. Okay, so after a little bit of time has elapsed, what you're going to want to do next when you're starting out is you're going to want to build another city. And the reason why is because when you get a trade network, or a trade route, that's when you get just so much more money. So we're going to do that now. We're going to again be looking for another high elevation point. And the reason why I was going over here is because if you go too close, you can't build them too close together. The reason why is because these cities are going to spread outwards, especially after you get to habitable. So once your planet, you can walk around freely on the surface. And so the city is just going to expand like crazy. So the limits will further increase. That's why we can't do that. So we're going to go over here and I got a Futurama reference. So we're going to use that. And yeah, so we are going to want to build another spaceport because we want that money. You can build multiple. Like I said, I'm just going to build one for the sake of it. And again, because it's a video, I'm just going to hurry and rush it, but you can do whatever you want. And see how it is now at 10,500 per minute. That's because we changed the culture, which is great. And I forgot to do it from here, but we're going to go ahead and assign a governor. So, like I said, governors starting out that are great are Minh Tran and Phaiza. We can't use Temujin because he is assigned. So I am going to, let's see. If I'm just starting out, chances are I only have blue governors, the common governors. So I guess I'll just stick with them. Me personally, now that I have other governors, I would probably do someone else, like probably Vivica. I mean, she's got great revenue boosts, but also because she's so hard to get, she's not leveled up very much, as you can see here. So it tends to balance itself out. If you have like a common, but he's leveled up like crazy, or she's leveled up pretty well too. Like, I mean, it's almost better than a really hard to get card that isn't leveled up at all. Let's see. So let's do Phaiza. Why not? I like Phaiza. But we don't have any culture, so there's no point in boosting her now. Basically, what we're hoping for is we're just kind of hoping that the next, random event that pops up is going to be the trade route. And the trade route is amazing because now both cities are generating money. And when you have both Temujin and Phaiza generating like that, I mean, this is the way you make bank in the beginning. While we wait for the, hopefully we get the trade network soon. But while we wait, I'm just going to show you a few other things. So you've already seen the governor tab. Biospheres you're not going to need to worry about because you're on biomass. And satellites you're not going to need to worry about because you're on beginner. This is assuming this is your very first game, right? So you're not going to need to ever worry about these two buttons. Just forget about them. And governor tab, like I said, you've seen it before. So you don't need to worry about that. The research tab, we've been here. You're going to want to be researching things that are going to turn Mars habitable. So you're going to want the heat that increases heat. You're going to want the stuff that increases pressure. You're going to want stuff that increases oxygen, increases water, and of course increases biomass. Now, when you get to biomass, don't worry about any of the terrestrial stuff. Don't worry about the soil farm, the grass farm, or the forest stand. Like, just don't even worry about it. Because what you're going to be interested in is right down here with the coral reef. The coral reef, as you can see, is one that makes money, and it makes decent money. It also helps with population, and it does a great deal more biomass. Well, I mean, over time. So That's what you're going to want to focus on. Like this stuff is, I mean, if you like it, fine. But it all ends up, like the planet's going to turn green no matter what. Okay, so this is a flavor text random event. I like it. I think this one's really cool. It doesn't do anything. It's just for flavor. So another thing you're going to want to build is the Habdome. Why don't we just get to that now, actually? So we have to build, like we said, we had to build the one right before it first. I'm going to rush it for the sake of the video. You're not obligated to do that or spend any GP. And the reason why we want this is because when we have cities, at the very beginning, we're limited by the amount of space we have in the facilities themselves. So think of the Hab units as just teeny tiny little living spaces, whereas Habdomes are like these massive, massive areas. They can house in like so many more people. And we want the population to grow because we get more culture points when we have a higher population. So we'll get our next point at 500 population, but we're limited by our Hab units. We cannot grow any more than 170. So that's why we really want to get more technology around Habs going, especially early on. So that way we can just continue to grow the population, continue to get those culture points without having to keep building more Hab units or keep upgrading Hab units, which costs money. And at the end of the day, they waste a lot of space for what you actually get out of it. So let's go ahead and build one. I mean, see, that's incredible. 85,000 people. All right. And so the next thing I'm going to do, and you don't have to do this, but I am going to demolish the Hab unit because it has become kind of useless. It's taken up a slot. I like to keep it clean. So I'm going to go ahead and disable it. And so now all the people have safely moved out of the Hab unit and into the Habdome. So now I'm going to go ahead and demolish it. It's going to cost me some money, but it's going to free up space. I'm going to do the same on Wong Ranch. And note, do not demolish it before you build something because your people will be ejected onto the surface of Mars where they disappear under mysterious circumstances. Yeah. So, okay. So we have disabled it, and now we will demolish it. Cool, done. We are also able to upgrade it. So I'm just going to show you. You see that we actually increase. I mean, that's a massive increase. And we don't have to keep building more. Actually, I will show you how these work. I'm going to do it with the Habdome. So as it's upgrading, you'll see a little plus. It will take 20 minutes. I am going to hurry for the sake of the video. And now it is functioning at level 2. So let's just say this was like, oh, I'm getting too much water per minute and I don't even have this many people yet. I'm just going to have it functioning at level 1. So you turn it down here, and now I've turned my water down. This works for all the facilities that produce something like that. So I wouldn't recommend it for Habs because if you turn it down, I mean, you're basically just shutting down a room that people might be living in. But you can do it for like spaceports, or you can do it for anything that's generating heat or water or whatever. All right, so now we have more people populating our cities, which means we have more culture points. We're going to keep getting those as the population grows. And we're going to get those pretty fast now that we have spaceports helping our population increase. So yeah, the last thing we're really waiting on is that trade route. And once we have that that's going between the two cities, that's the only condition that you need to get it. You can't, there's no other thing that you can do to kind of increase your odds of getting a trade route random event. It's just basically the random events, the way they work is it's like a deck of cards, and you can draw like any number of cards, and once you draw that one card, it goes back to the bottom of the deck. Your like chances of getting that one decrease. But you can do certain things to make certain events happen. To get a trade route, it is to build at least 2 cities. You can't have a trade route with just 1 city. Another one is the terrorist attacks. They just flat out aren't going to happen if you haven't put anything. One sec. Yeah, we're gonna obviously we want to accept that. This is another reason why you want money up front, because stuff like this is going to happen. So you definitely want to stop that from happening. So the terrorist attacks, they're never going to happen if you, what are we at? Yeah, it looks like we're at 0. They're not going to happen if you don't have anything towards independence. The closer you are to independence, the more likely your terrorist attacks are going to occur. So this is why we wait until we have 20 to put them into independence. You can do this all at once if you are on beginner or normal mode by just getting the slider and moving it over. If you are on expert mode, there's a time lock. You can only do it like once every, I want to say it's like an hour and a half or 2 hours. I don't remember. But yeah, you can't do it like that on expert mode, because as Alex says, if you are playing on expert mode, you basically want it really difficult, and he's made that mode to punish players basically. It's why I just want a nice relaxing terraforming game where I watch grass grow, so I play on normal and beginner. So let's go over the culture tab. We didn't have one in the beginning, but now it looks like we've got some stuff going on here, and it shows you by year. It shows you what the event was, and it shows you the more specific stuff. So you can have a masterpiece like a video game, but this one was a novel. It just chooses randomly from what's available. That same year, we got a great singer. That's awesome. And because we were doing, I think it was paid broadcasts, we got this much money per minute. That's just awesome. And then the next year, a local accent started to come about, which, interesting, cool. So Temujin is still boosting in our city. This is great. One tactic you can do is when the boost is over and they're no longer boosting, if you want, you can switch out the governor for another boost. If you have something like, let's say, like, you know, I had Min Tran in one city, I could have Temujin here, his boost ends, I switch him out for Faiza Kirmani and do her boost, which is also 800% for 30, I think it's 30 minutes on cultural revenue. So that is one tactic you can employ, is switching out governors while their cooldowns are happening, to try to maximize as much money as you can make. For the sake of this video, I will probably just leave him here because I am assuming, as it's your first game, you probably don't have a lot of governors available to you anyway. So let's wait for that trade route. Okay, so let's actually talk about this random event. I know we were waiting for the trade route one, but let's talk about this one. So Alex said this before in another video. This is the origin of Steve, actually. Basically, we'd get this random event. It would be upgraded without any warning. Like, you just couldn't even decline it. You could just, that's all it was. And suddenly everyone's carefully balanced facilities that are, you know, balancing oxygen and pressure and heat just so would be thrown into chaos. So now it is either accept or decline. This is something that I want, is absolutely to have a level 1 Habdome be upgraded to level 10. And that's awesome that it's running without any maintenance, although I think on beginner mode there is no maintenance anyway. On normal mode there will be a maintenance cost. So let's go ahead and accept that, and let's see what changed. So we've been waiting a while for this trade route. So let's see what changed. We're going to go over here to the population tab. And now you see that difference? Before, it was, when we first started it, it was 85,000, and now it's 467,500. That's incredible. So we're going to get a maximum of 595,000 people as it stands on Mars before it hits habitable. Right now it's barren. We literally cannot have people living on the surface. So that's our max. That's not what I meant to click, but that is still pretty awesome because we still need those culture points because we got to get to 20, remember. All right, so let's keep waiting for that trade route. All right, we finally got a trade route. That only took, what, like a year? No, I'm just kidding. So, good. Now we have one. So I'm going to show you what that means. Over here on our money tab, we have a trade route established. Yes. So you'll notice there's some difference here. So you see that the trade route is making 7,200 credits per minute in Wong Ranch, but 7,000 credits per minute over here in Howl's Melody. And I will show you why. Cool how you can click from right there, huh? So 7,000, 7,200. Here's why. We have FISA over here boosting cultural revenue. And we're going to do, watch this, you ready? Now it's 36,000 per minute. So that's pretty awesome. Let's go back over here. Temujin has a cooldown for the next 52 minutes, but he is still boosting at 80% revenue. So we are making more than we normally would. So he's still doing good work. He's just not boosting, which is fine. So yeah, so now we're at 75,160 credits per minute. This is what's going to help you get your money. You can obviously upgrade your spaceports. You'll get even more money. But this is how you start playing Terra Genesis. This is how you should start most of your games. Obviously, there are going to be some other games in the future where you're going to want to do things a little differently, like the Earth level. But for the most part, this is how you're going to want to start your games. Is you're going to want to build a city, get a spaceport going, get either Temujin or Min in there if you're wanting to increase your revenue, if you're wanting to help with your construction time. Get another city going as soon as you can, get FISA in there, and get that trade route going. And then you'll have money for the rest of the game. All right, that will do it for this episode. And we will start up in the next one, showing you next steps on how to get started terraforming. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like these. I intend to do them at least with the first 5 terrestrial worlds. But, we could do more. So if you like them, if you hit the like button. I don't think it does anything, but it lets us know, like, hey, we like this video. But definitely leave a comment letting us know what you think. So thank you so much, guys, and happy terraforming.